So quick story that has nothing to do with this movie. I saw this movie, it's super late outside right now. I drove home, no problem, sitting in my parking lot for like 2 seconds, and then I heard like some weird noise coming from I'm pretty sure it was just the, pretty sure it was just the air conditioning, but I was like, not today. Needless to say, this movie got a little bit under my skin. The Belko Experiment is directed by Greg McLean and it stars John Gallagher Jr. along with Adria Arjona and a lot of really unknown people. But most importantly, it's written by James Gunn, which, in case you didn't know, he directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So that's why we're excited about this movie, people. James Gunn wrote it. So this is a movie about this American company that's somewhere in Georgia. They're like in a deserted, not a deserted, but like an isolated part. Like there's no one around this company. It's a small little company. There's like 80 people that work there, and I don't really know what they do, but apparently they're a new company. Then they're going along with their workday, and then all of a sudden, on the loudspeaker there, it's like, hey, kill people. And then they're like, we're not going to kill anybody. And then they're like, okay, if you don't kill them, we're going to kill them. And they're like, yeah, okay. Boom, they're dead, right? So then it's like, okay, now you have 2 hours, kill 30 people, or we're going to kill 60 people. And they're like, oh, okay. And then the movie starts rolling. So this is it's a pretty, interesting concept. It's something that, a lot of movies have done. It's kind of really Hunger Games-y and things like that, where it's like, oh, would you kill people if you had to kill them? It's a pretty, it's an interesting concept. It's something that has definitely been done before, but it's always interesting getting into the mindset of what would I do in this situation? So the movie has that going for it, and it also has some really good acting going for it as well. I was really happy to see that the movie didn't have horrible dialogue, and it didn't have stupid characters. You don't really care too much about the characters, besides just, I don't want to see people die. But yeah, you don't really care about the characters, but you don't really have to. The movie it has its hero, it has its main people, but most of the people, they're there just to die. I mean, let's get real. That's what this movie is. You want to see people die, but at the same time, you want to see people not die, So it's one of those movies where it's kind of hard to watch in a way because people are dying, but you're kind of wanting to see the people die. And here's what I would say that this movie did really well that I didn't expect was it kind of set up heroes and villains. I didn't expect it to be villains. I expected it to be heroes, of course, because everybody needs a hero. But the villains in this movie, I kind of like the way that they made them villains and made them be like, oh, those are the guys that we want to kill. Those are, we don't want those guys to survive. We're okay if we kill those people, So it was cool seeing that different angle on this thing. And I thought that the movie was a pretty fun movie to watch. It's definitely really dark. It has a twisted sense of humor in there. And it makes it fun to watch this movie, where if it was just straight up horror, it's really serious, this movie would be kind of really unsettling to watch because it is graphic. But because it has that weird sense of humor in there, because of James Gunn, I would expect that's what made the movie fun to watch. But even with that sense of humor, it was still kind of really graphic, and it was like, oh god, these people are dying. It seems so real, and it's like, oh god, it's unsettling, And that's why it's a little bit disturbing, and you get you get a little bit off kilter after watching this movie. You were a little bit creeped out, but you're afraid of the people around you. But this movie, it was interesting. It had, had that going for it, the interesting concept, and you think about what you would do in this situation, and it makes you think these things. I think it'd be a fun movie to see with friends and talk about it afterwards and be like, oh, I would have started killing sooner, But this movie's nothing new, but I thought it was a well-made movie, well-written. I definitely liked the way that it had the sense of humor in there. Nothing too crazy or special. You don't really care too much about the characters. And anything else besides them killing each other, you don't really care about. So the whole beginning of the movie with the setup and everything, yeah, you don't really care. You just want to see the things start going. So it's a pretty basic movie, I would definitely, I would recommend it though, because I had fun watching it, and I think it's worth the conversation. 3.5 out of 5 for the Belko experiment. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, Tom Waterloo, then please like and share this video. Leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.